Hello Orchid friends, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to look at this LC tropical pointer cheetah. If this is your first time watching my video, my channel is all about orchids, from what orchids I have, how I grow them, my thoughts on certain orchid topics, to what orchids in my collection are blooming, etc. So if you want to follow along my orchid hobby adventure, please consider subscribing to my channel and turn on the notification. This orchid is still potted in its original media, which is bark chips. And I've had this orchid for about 2 years now, and last year it bloomed, and this year it rebloomed again. And as you can see here, it has quite a bit of new growth. I mean, this year it gave me 3 new growth, but only 1 flower. And one of the main reasons is because I have neglected it. I don't always remember to give this one water, so that's why this one is looking a bit dry, and I don't always remember to give it fertilizer either. So this one is somehow still managing to flower, so this is actually quite amazing. Earlier this spring I thought about repotting it, but because the media still looks quite okay, so I did not want to disturb it, because my track record with Cattleya is that if I repot it, somehow, their roots sometimes die off because of the repot, and then they don't bounce back, or they bounce back poorly. So I much rather that it develop, or because when I got it, it was still a young plant, and I just wanted to mature a little bit better before I transfer it to, for example, semi-hydro. And also, you see that I use a bigger glass container with hydrocorn beads at the bottom. So when I remember, I would add water at the bottom to increase the moisture for the surrounding, for its close proximity. But as you can see right now in the video footage, there isn't any water because I truly forgot about it for about 2 weeks. Plus the 1 week that I was away. So the fact that this one even has a flower is really an amazing situation here. Yes, I have neglected this one because I tend to look at my phals a little bit more closely than the Cattleyas that I have. Guilty as charged. And here is the footage from last year when it was in bloom, and at that time it gave me 3 bloom, and this year it only gave me 1 bloom. So I think the difference really is that I didn't keep up with the watering and the fertilizing, and so it is basically on strike. At the time though, it was giving me 3 bloom, but I think one consistent problem that I have observed about this particular orchid type is that the sheath somehow is preventing the flower to grow out straight and have a very straight or good frontal regular flower display. And the reason I say that is, you see how the lowest flower there, the back of the flower, that stem is kind of curvy, crooked. And the same thing with this particular flowering, the one that I currently have. The same thing, the back of it is all crooked. So I think for next time when it's in bud, I will go ahead and cut the sheath off, remove the sheath, so that way it will continue to grow better. Because 2 years in a row, I don't think this is a coincidence. I think it's just how this orchid behaves. So knowing from that, I think I would have to help it along, so that way the flower would grow in a better position. Because this year, it's just kind of, the flower is kind of, tilted to one side versus a very horizontal display. And here's what I'm talking about. As it was in bud, the sheath above it was still green, it was still pretty hard, And well, at one point, by the way, it was developing two bud, but then as this bud continued to develop, I noticed that the second bud it was really small, and then it just kind of shrunk, so it became dark. So I know that it's only going to give me one bloom. So yeah, so this is this year's bloom from this particular plant. I know I have not done a good job giving it enough water and fertilizer, so the fact that I have one flower, I'm still grateful. And next spring, I think I will repot it, but I just don't know if I'm gonna do semi-hydro or not. But you know, that is to be determined. But this is basically it for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to get more orchid related videos from my channel, please subscribe and turn on the notification. And if you have any question, of course, you're always welcome to make a comment down below, and I'll get back to you in a timely manner, hopefully. Okay, so I want to wish you happy growing, and I will talk to you in my next video. Ciao!